Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So yeah, no, today is not Monday. My shows, the episodes that I launch are Mondays, every Monday at 3 p.m. But today I am putting a video through the feed because it's almost New Year, 2020. I cannot believe it's almost 2020. I can remember when I was a kid, I imagined 2020 to be like this Jetson type, super technology, spaced out kind of thing. I don't know. I'm pretty close to it. But tonight, I want to talk about a comment that someone left under one of my videos. Probably will put it up here. And we were discussing just about the evil nature of people with narcissistic personality disorder. And another subscriber mentioned, trying to understand why this person was doing this certain thing, right? And the person said, evil doesn't need a reason. And I was like, wow, that was crazy. And we go through life thinking that evil needs a reason. And when people treat us poorly or unfairly, or someone that we're connected to or in a relationship with or related to, and they do something to us that doesn't line up, we resort to cognitive dissonance and all kind of things, right? But we're not doing that in 2020 because I want to discuss that. I want to talk about free will. I want to talk about the fact that narcissistic people, they don't need a reason to hurt you. They do this because this is what they want to do. Hey guys, I hope you can see me. I actually just wanted a little bit of dim light tonight, right? I turned the lights down because I don't want a lot of light in my face. Let me tell you, I'm creating some incredible shorts, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm going to call them circumstances. I don't know, but I'm really excited because I really feel that articulating my experience with narcissism and being able to help other people and give you something that you can resonate with is really going to happen through filmmaking, which is my first love. And although in my membership portal, I teach people how to develop and write their stories, create their scripts, do the vision board and all this other fun stuff, and teach software and applications and all this stuff like that. My main passion is creating films, right? And I'm going to put these narcissistic situations into these little shorts. So 2020, I should be delivering. Now, moving on to the comment that this subscriber made about narcissists not needing a reason. This was a brilliant comment. Shout out to the person who made that. And the reason why this comment is so important is because for the vast majority of empaths, or particularly empaths who have had to been subjected to narcissistic abuse. When I say abuse, I don't always mean physical, any kind of abuse or manipulation, anything that tormented you, threw you off your path, mess up your life, leave you as a single parent, all these different things that narcissistic people do, and the systemic narcissism that helps oppress and kind of support the ruining of other people's lives, right? What we tend to do is think that there's a reason. Here's a perfect example. You're in a relationship, a long-term relationship, and then you find out that your narcissistic partner has been cheating on you. You go through the whole spiel that people go through when they find out that they've been cheating on. What's going on in the back of your mind and in your heart? You're thinking, what did I do? Maybe I didn't cook enough. I was too busy. Maybe I wasn't having sex enough. What could I possibly have done? This is the reasoning that people do. Why? Because in the natural order, normal human beings reason because they are trying to find solutions, right? They are solution oriented, but narcissistic people are not normal. 2020, we have to do two things. One, understand that narcissism is on a rise. It's crazy. Either it's on a rise or it's more visual than it's ever been before. The second thing is that we have to start literally taking it upon ourselves to categorize the people that we meet, meaning diagnose them for your own safety. right? Because we know, I'm going to put a link down there where we can go to the DSM-5's website to see at least the most important 8 or 9 characteristics and traits that a person, if this person is displaying these traits like persistently, like always, like constantly, it's highly likely that this person has NPD, or it's highly likely that this person is really, really tapped into narcissism, their narcissistic traits in a dysfunctional way. It's important that we fall back and get to know people and categorize them. Why? Because if you do not categorize them moving forward in 2020, you will continue to search for reasons when people do things that don't make sense. For instance, like cheat in a relationship when everything appears to be going fine. This is such a common tactic with somatic narcissists, whether it's a female or male. I know this because I was in a relationship with a disgusting somatic narcissist. And being the naive kind of person that I was at that time, I thought that when people were happy and they seemed to be happy with one another and people were buying you gifts and you're doing all these different things, that there would be no reason to go outside of the relationship. I spent 5 ridiculous years in that relationship because I was looking for reasons. This is why that comment is so important. Again, I reiterate, narcissists do not need a reason. The narcissist exists for one purpose, one reason, and one reason only: to gain narcissistic supply. And the narcissist will do this by any means necessary to whoever. This is why sometimes you see, you're like, what is he doing with her? Narcissists, they don't care. Yeah, they will try their best to get someone who's popular, someone who looks good. Even in the work situations, they want to hang around the person who dressed best, who's snazzy or whatever. But when they can't get that kind of supply, they'll take anything because there is no reason outside of the fact that the narcissist always has to supply himself with energy because he does not process energy. He or she does not process energy in the same ways that normal human beings do. Normal human beings process. I'll do this in another video though, but normal human beings process energy through regular processes, through regular emotional processes. We do things differently. Narcissists rely on you and I and other people to give them energy, whether it's by beating you up or making you feel bad, or even making you laugh, or making you happy, or giving you gifts. It depends on what is going on in the magical thinking of the narcissist at the time. Has nothing to do with you. The narcissist has a separate agenda. That's why it's important that we identify them, because when we don't identify them, we start to treat them like we would treat a normal person, and this is how we get manipulated, hurt, ripped off, bamboozled. This is what happens. They are not normal, and you cannot treat them like they are normal. You cannot look for reasons. There is no reason. There is no reason. There's nothing that you can do. Even when you're acting on your best behavior, there's a potential for a narcissist to do something that doesn't line up with that mood, with that sentiment. I remember I had picked up a narcissistic friend to drive them somewhere, and the person, we were all having a really good mood, and this person was angry the whole ride and started growling and kind of like barking like a dog. It was just like crazy, and it didn't match the mood. But the reason the narcissist was doing that is because the narcissist was trying to exert negative energy into the cipher so that everyone else could feel as bad as he was feeling. But it actually didn't work, right? And so this is why it's important to understand that there is never a reason that has anything to do with you, although the narcissist will work very, very hard to get you to believe that. Because when a narcissist gets you to believe that you're the reason for his or her happiness, or that you're the reason for his or her anger, or that you're the reason for anything that the narcissist is doing, this is how they're able to wheel you in and gain narcissistic supply. So I'm very happy that this person left this comment, because this really made me want to leave this video going into 2020. So hopefully you take that advice and you understand that narcissistic people are manipulators who always try to be 20 steps ahead of you for various reasons that I won't discuss in this video. The reason they need to stay 20 steps ahead of you is because they're liars. They're manipulators. They're not who they're telling you that they are. And so in order for them to keep up that false identity, they have to stay ahead of you. They stay ahead of you by doing some really horrible things sometimes. Some things that don't even make sense. Some of the things that they do. But they can affect you. But it's not personal. It's just because the narcissist needs this supply to be able to hold up the false self. And if that means killing you, getting rid of you, sleeping with your mother because your mother seemed like they might be a better deal, that's what they're going to do. There's no reason behind it. It's just because they're self-centered. They lack empathy. They don't have a conscience. Do you know what that means, to not have a conscience? To not have the burden of conscience like normal human beings? Conscience is what makes a person not molest a child. Conscience is that part of us that's connected to a higher source that makes us think about what we do. And then add empathy to that. And empathy is even more important, because with empathy, that means that even if you didn't listen to your conscience and you did something, your empathy would kick in. You're like, oh, this doesn't feel right. I don't feel right doing that to that person. They don't have that. They don't have any of that. That's how they could cheat on you and then look at you like you're crazy, or then give you excuses that appear to be so phony. That's why they could do that. That's what they're like robots. They're not human. I hate to say that, but it's almost like they're not human. And so I'm going to wrap this up. I didn't want this to be a long video, but I just want to remind you coming into 2020 how important. I lost that video there. So 2 things, like I said, start to diagnose them, see who they are. Stop personalizing it. Don't take it personal. I know it's hard because this is what narcissistic people want you to do. They want you to take it personal, right? Because when you take it personal, you make it about you. You're like, if someone's being this evil, there has to be a reason. Let me trace back and look back and see what I did last week or yesterday or last year. How could I make this better, right? And then you start to invest more and more energy into this situation. And this is exactly what the narcissists want. Because like I said earlier, they're only after one thing: narcissistic supply. And so this is why they go above and beyond to try to find information on you. If you ever dealt with a narcissistic person, particularly at work or even in a relationship, they seem to always be spitting out information to you that they heard about you, that they learned about you. I heard you were really good at this. I heard you like to hang out at XYZ place. I heard you used to date this person. This is a clear sign of a narcissistic person. This is actually a boundary breaker. This person is breaking your boundaries, going above and beyond to learn things about you without your permission. Not that a person needs your permission to learn about you, but why is this person wanting to know so much about you and then delivering it to you, hand delivering everything that they assume or think that they know, or they try to pry information out of you, right? Because these are the tools that the narcissist uses to keep you pulled in at some point, to keep you reasoning, to keep you looking for a reason why this person is thinking this way or that way or doing this to me, right? And then we become the subject of this abuse. We become the target, right? And that's important. And that's what I wanted to say going into 2020. Remember, evil does not need a reason. I use the word evil not because I'm like Christian and biblical and all these different things. I use it because it's a common word and we understand what that means, right? And so I associate that word with narcissistic people, even though it's not a strong belief, that I believe that they're all evil. I just believe that they operate on the other end of the spectrum, because we have to remember, if we believe in free will, right, that people make choices. And this is the choice that the narcissist makes. And that is the reality. Forget about the reasoning. That is the reality. And if you come in contact with one, all hell is going to break loose at one point or another. This person must have narcissistic supply. They bore easily. They must hurt people. They must do ridiculous things. They must lie. They have to shock you. They have to pull the carpet up from under you. They have to pretend to be with you. They have to compete with you. They have to do all of these things because it is in the nature, the conditioned nature that they chose to submit to. They abandoned the true self. They have absolutely nothing going on, zero. They're very boring people at the heart of it. When you really pay attention to narcissistic people, you will become disinterested, because every part of their personality, they picked it up from other people in other places. They don't have anything authentic. This is part of why I had let go a lot of the people that I knew, because I started to actually notice this. I saw this, that these people were not investing in themselves. They were not necessarily, doing anything for the soul, for the spirit. Everything was superficial and fake. And people like that can become a problem for you. So coming into 2020, start lining these people up, create that list. This person falls into this category, this person falls into that category, but whatever it is, the reason is not because of me. Evil doesn't need a reason. It just comes and it does what it does. Love and light. If you like this video, hit like. And if you think someone else could benefit or learn from it, please be sure to share this video. And if you subscribe to my channel, thank you. And if you have not yet subscribed, consider subscribing, because I am going to bring so much information. And I cannot wait to start shooting these short films and documentaries. I'm a creator, and that's what we do over at, it was Streamer to Do. I changed it for the new year. I'm going to leave the link below. So it's like surviving after narcissistic abuse is the whole concept, right? And dealing with narcissists robs you of your creative nature, and we get lost, right? And we get lost in those relationships with them, or we get smothered by them, or we just don't feel confident anymore. And a lot of my books and my material is focusing on how to rebuild that. But the Facebook group is creating and thriving after narcissistic abuse, right? And here we learn how to write our stories, develop our stories. If we want to write a script, do a podcast, whatever it is that we want to do, we learn how to organize and take control and start doing that again. And what I love to do is teach how to use software and applications to get everything done. So check out the links below, and I'll see you guys Monday at 3 p.m. with an official episode. Happy New Year.